Big headlines from the White House and the Hill. We'll tell you about the 3 things you need to know.
There is no safety whatsoever after 5 o'clock.
How a refugee family is struggling to achieve the American dream here in Maryland.
This proposal is legal. It's a common sense effort to foster trust between the community and the police department.
This is not the right way to do it, and it is so divisive to our community.
A local city discusses the future when it comes to enforcing immigration laws.
You don't deserve to be supported. You don't deserve these protections. It sends this very uniquely malicious message.
A transgender student from Virginia vows to keep fighting after the Supreme Court decides not to hear his case.
I just told them it's like a snow day without the snow.
A day without a woman means a day without school for one local district. It's a decision getting mixed reaction from parents tonight.
A lot going on at the White House and on Capitol Hill today, and we're going to break it all down for you. First, President Trump unveiled his updated travel ban. Meanwhile, the White House is defending the president's allegations that former President Obama wiretapped him during the campaign. And just a few hours ago, House Republicans announced their plan for replacing Obamacare.
Yeah, that plan is a bill called the American Health Care Act. It would scale down the government's role in health care and make all this retroactive to 2016. The House proposal would repeal Obamacare's fines on people who don't carry health insurance. It would freeze enrollment in Medicaid and put a cap on Medicaid grants to states. The legislation would preserve a popular feature of Obamacare, and that's letting young adults stay on their parents' plans until age 26.
Now, earlier today, President Trump signed a new travel ban. It's different in several ways from the one signed in January. That order was temporarily put on hold by a federal judge. This new executive order does not apply to current visa holders. It removes Iraq from the list of banned countries. 6 Muslim majority countries are still affected. The new order takes effect in 10 days rather than immediately. It also suspends the entire U.S. refugee program for 120 days, but it no longer singles out Syrian refugees indefinitely.
Even refugees who've made it into the U.S. are finding that it's extremely difficult to stay over. Andrea McCarran shows us one family struggles.
The State Department allots $2,075 for each refugee. Half of that goes to the resettlement agency, which in turn gives each refugee a one-time payment of roughly $1,000. That's intended to cover the first 90 days of expenses, including rent, utilities, food, clothing, even furniture. Some refugees are learning that affordability and safety don't always go together.
I just want to feel safe.
Can you explain why you don't want us to show your face?
I'm still afraid, you know.
Fear keeps Muhammad and his family holed up in a tiny apartment in a gritty Baltimore neighborhood.
There is no safety whatsoever after 5 o'clock.
His teenage son was badly beaten in an attempted robbery. With no car, Muhammad, his wife, and their 5 children stay inside. They thought they'd left violence and fear behind 6 months ago when they fled Syria.
It was a constant killing every day.
But a different type of violence and fear have followed them 6,000 miles to Baltimore, in the place our government has resettled them.
It has been very difficult.
Here, the American dream feels painfully out of reach.
I was expecting to work. I never sat down for this long, you know, doing nothing.
Muhammad is desperate for a job, desperate to provide for his wife and 5 children, ages 3 to 14. In Syria, he was a driver. Here, he's one of thousands of refugees struggling to learn English and starting over.
It's heartbreaking.
Our translator understands his despair.
Oh my God, you know, I was traumatized. I was shocked.
She came to America 6 years ago.
I was completely in another place. My mind was in Syria, and my body was here.
With patience and determination, she made it.
But there's hope.
There's hope.
Muhammad has been struggling to find work for the last 6 months. His life savings have dwindled to just $800. Andrea McCarran, WUSA 9.
Muhammad tells Andrea that once he gets steady work, he hopes to move his family to a safer place. More Syrian refugees have been resettled in Baltimore than any other city in Maryland.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Hundreds of protesters gathering outside the White House tonight. They were demonstrating against the president's new travel ban.
The House Intelligence Committee plans to review President Trump's claim that former President Obama ordered wiretapping at Trump Tower just before the election. The president made the claim in a series of weekend tweets, and he cited no evidence. The White House has since offered none. A spokesman for President Obama, former President Obama, flatly denied any wiretap order. Virginia Democratic Congressman Jerry Connolly spoke tonight with Bruce on Off Script.
We're rapidly heading into a fact-free zone here with this president. I think he picked it up from Breitbart News.
The president, based on his information and belief, has said that we were surveilled.
CBS News has learned FBI Director James Comey denies that wiretap claim, and he's called on the Justice Department to refute it.
HUD Secretary Ben Carson referred to slaves as immigrants today while making his first address to agency employees.
There were other immigrants who came here in the bottom of slave ships, worked even longer, even harder for less. But they too had a dream.
Carson is now taking a lot of heat for comparing slaves to immigrants who came here freely with hopes and dreams. And tonight, the HUD Secretary went on Facebook and wrote, quote, "I'm proud that our ancestors overcame the evil and repression that we know as slavery. The slave narrative and immigrant narrative are two entirely different experiences." Gavin Grimm was in class when he heard the news today. The Supreme Court has decided not to hear his case. But tonight, the Gloucester, Virginia teenager vows to keep fighting for transgender rights. Gavin was labeled female at birth, but identifies now as male. He sued his high school for denying him access to the boys' restroom.
I've known for a while now that I would not get a decision before I left school. And so for a while, my fight has been about the kids that are going to come after me, the kids that are in school currently. It's an issue that's far, far bigger than myself, and that's my focus.
With today's decision, the Supreme Court wiped off the books a lower court ruling that was in Gavin's favor. Justices told the lower court to reconsider now in light of new guidance from the Trump administration. That guidance says transgender restroom policies should be left up to local school districts.
Alexandria City Public Schools are closed on Wednesday. Hundreds of teachers are planning to participate in the women's protest marking the Day Without a Woman. And Stephanie Ramirez is on that story for us tonight. Stephanie, school leaders said they had to do what's best for the students, but they are really getting an earful from parents about this.
Yeah, Leslie, especially online. We asked you all on our Facebook page what you thought of this, and we're seeing some comments as well, some supportive, like a comment here from Mr. Larry Galvin that I am pulling up, but he basically says this is great. Our world cannot function without women in the workplace, but then a lot of people also slammed this. Monique Ketchum wrote, "Are you kidding me? For once, I like to see anyone do something in their own community, clean up a park, feed the homeless." I was also in Alexandria today, and I can tell you parents and people there are just as divided.
Asking I not show their faces, even these two friends couldn't get on the same page.
I think it makes a statement.
What kind of statement? What statement does it make? I think it's just one more problem we're adding to something that doesn't necessarily need to be added.
The back and forth Monday after Alexandria Public Schools announced they'll be closed Wednesday, which is also International Women's Day. The school's superintendent says they received more than 300 requests off from staff members planning to participate in the A Day Without a Woman strike. This is the strike being organized by the same group that put on the massive Women's March in January. This time around, the group says they're trying to highlight gender equality and the impact females have on our country's economic system.
I understand, but at the same time, I am concerned that my child's missing school.
This parent says she can at least work from home Wednesday, but others outside of John Adams Elementary were upset, calling this a huge inconvenience.
At least 1 week of notice would have been good. Now I have to take a day off, which represents a loss of revenue.
Then again,
it's something good to do, especially now after the election for women's rights. And our mother is a woman. We have kids who are women, or female, or girls. So I think it's something good to do, now to show respect for female.
ACPS says this decision was not a political one, but more based on whether they'd be able to cover their classrooms. The students will not have to make up this day. Some Head Start programs will be staying open as normal. We have that information on our WUSA9 app and website. But Leslie, so far, we haven't heard of any other school districts doing the same.
Yeah, hopefully they'll at least have some meals for the kids who depend on them in those school systems and those classes. You know, not everybody can skip work to observe the Day Without a Woman, but there are some other ways to participate. Women are being asked to avoid shopping at stores except for local small businesses or women-owned companies, and to wear the color red. Organizers say that represents revolutionary love and sacrifice. There are also rallies planned across the country, including some here in the district.
Well, do you tend to buy your morning cup of joe at your go-to coffee shop? Well, tomorrow morning on Wake Up Washington, you can learn how to do it for yourself and save a lot of cash. Plus, Tuesday is National Pancake Day. Jen and Mike are going to tell you where you can get our free breakfast. Join them tomorrow morning, 4:25. Is it true that a Gold Star father's travel privileges are now under review? We're going to verify that for you.
If the ordinance is passed, I will sell my house immediately.
Plus, a heated debate in Rockville tonight about the way the city should enforce immigration policy.
And it's the hottest ticket in town, how the Hirshhorn Museum is responding to the high demand for its newest exhibit.
All right, good news, a little bit milder overnight. Bad news, just a couple of showers, 38 to 46 in the morning to start, 6 a.m., perhaps a shower, 44 to 52 by 9 o'clock, and then upper 50s, low 60s, maybe a shower by noon. We'll come back, we'll track the showers for you hour by hour, and yes, we'll look ahead to the weekend. Winter will try to make a comeback.
You are looking at a piece of Maryland history. This is the last intact silk mill in America. Located in western Maryland, it's attracted preservationists and scavengers. Everything is just the way it was when the silk mill's doors closed for good back in 1957. Its owner has spent over 40 years trying to save it, but time is running out. Tomorrow at 11, we hit the open road and go behind the doors of this last silk mill. You've probably seen the story on social media today. Khizr Khan, Gold Star father from Charlottesville, famous for taking on Donald Trump at the DNC, now canceling a speech in Canada tomorrow.
Yeah, according to the viral news clips, Khan said he was backing out of the speech because his traveling privileges are being reviewed. We asked our Garrett Hake to try and verify those claims.
Khan was supposed to speak tomorrow at something called a Ramsey Talk. It's a paid speech like a TED Talk in Toronto. Earlier today, the event organizer posted this statement on Facebook saying that Khan had canceled because he found out on Sunday that his travel privileges are being reviewed. This turn of events is not just of deep concern to me, but to all of my fellow Americans who cherish our freedom to travel abroad. The statement attributed to Khan reads, "I have not been given any reason as to why." But Khan, who gained notoriety last summer as a Muslim Gold Star father who spoke out at the DNC, is an American citizen and has been for more than 30 years. Many of you asked online, what travel privileges is he talking about exactly? I started out reaching out to government agencies to try to find out. The State Department told me they couldn't comment on Khan specifically, but that any American citizen with a valid passport can travel where they like. The TSA and DHS each told me they had nothing to do with this case and sent me to Customs and Border Patrol. A Customs spokesperson told me they do not contact travelers about restrictions before they travel. And another official there said simply, "We don't do things like that." I'm still waiting to hear back from the FBI and the Canadian government. Now, digging in on this, I found out that Khan also canceled an appearance in the UK that was set for last week. I texted and emailed with Khan tonight, and he twice declined to comment. So did the Ramsey Talks organizer. So where does this leave us? Tonight, we cannot verify Mr. Khan's claims one way or the other without more information from him. But for right now, I can't find any evidence that they are true. So keep that in mind before you retweet or share stories about this. For now, all the facts here do not appear to add up. I'm Garrett Hake, WUSA 9.
Our Verify team works around the clock sorting through your tips and feedback. If you see something, anything on TV or on your social media feeds that has you wondering if it's legit or not, let us know and we'll try to verify it for you. Find us on Facebook or Twitter or email verify@WUSA9.com.
This time next week, we should be seeing the first of the cherry blossoms. The National Park Service says the peak bloom will be from March 14th through March 17th, but they say this weekend's cold snap may have slowed the progression of peak bloom. The florets have not moved from phase 2 to phase 3 of their life cycle, and that's most likely because of the cold weather. Tapa.
And it was cold this weekend. It'll be cold next weekend. It could slow them down, 2 or 3 days. But we told folks about 3 weeks ago, if you're trying to get family in, the 14th to the 21st, that's probably your best chance if you can rearrange the airfares that you made last year. All right, 3-degree guarantee. Not quite a bullseye, but pretty well today. By the way, this is almost an average day. Our average high is 53. We went 56. It was 54, so we're within 2. Not bad. We're going to go 65 tomorrow, even though we have a lot of clouds and showers in the forecast. Right now, live look outside to our live Michael and Son weather camp. It's 48. Notice the dew points are way up there above freezing. Wind south-southeast at 5, so not nearly as cold tonight. The clouds will help us out. The winds will help us out. Here's radar over the past hour. Just a couple of sprinkles to the west of I-81, just west of Winchester. These showers will continue to move eastward. They're very light, so we could see some morning showers primarily north of town in the morning, say 6, 7, 8 o'clock. I would say Leesburg North and Gaithersburg North. Bus stop temperatures 38 to 52. Yeah, we'll keep a chance of a shower in, but pretty mild start. The bulk of the showers, though, will occur tomorrow afternoon and really tomorrow night, so it's not a yellow weather alert to worthy. The coverage intensity, just not that much. And then pleasant behind the system Wednesday and Thursday with temps back in the 60s, and then cold over the weekend. Rain or snow possible on Sunday. Now, I don't deal in percentages too often, but we'll talk percentages right now. Chance of seeing snowflakes this weekend, 1 in 2, 50%. Pretty good. Chance of measurable snow this weekend, 1 in 4, 25%. But chances of a total miss, also 1 in 4, because there's been a couple of storms this winter that have shown up 5, 6 days out and then disappeared. Chance of rain and or snow, we'll say 35%. Timetable would be Saturday evening or night into Sunday. Springing back to winter, yeah, 65 on Tuesday, 67 Wednesday, low 60s Thursday, and then boom, back to 49 on Friday and only 43 on Saturday. All right, here is Futurecast. 6 o'clock in the morning, some showers primarily north. Everything's light, upper 40s, around 50 downtown. By 9 o'clock, just clouds, 50 in Gaithersburg, already 55 in Fredericksburg. And then you'll see some breaks in the clouds tomorrow, so I mean, if you're going to take your umbrella, okay, you're probably better off taking your sunglasses, quite frankly. 68 by 1 o'clock in Fredericksburg and 64 downtown. Really a pretty nice day, even though we have some showers in. So 50 by 7 o'clock, 59 by 11 o'clock, and 64 with a shower possible by 1 o'clock, and winds increasing a little bit. Now, Wednesday, morning clouds possible, then a very nice day. Windy to breezy, but 67 and 62 on Thursday with sunshine. And then colder on Friday. Some showers, and then Saturday into Sunday, yeah, winter makes a comeback. That 43, those 43s may be high. Rain or snow possible, then back to the 50s on Monday. So a couple of things. If it were to snow, snow does not hurt any of the vegetation, number one. And number two, it's March. It won't last long. It'll get warm again quickly.
That's the good news.
Okay, you're supposed to say, thank you. That's great news.
That's good news, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
What role should local police take when it comes to enforcing federal immigration laws? Well, that was the big question tonight in Rockville, and our John Henry joins us from there with more.
I'm here at Rockville City Hall, where a lot of people spent their time tonight making their voices heard on the issue of immigration enforcement. These students are only freshmen in high school, but they felt the need to let Rockville leaders know they should do whatever they can to protect all of the city's immigrants.
It's my responsibility to speak up for people who are being targeted.
Their school is diverse, and they're worried about their friends. That's why they joined more than 70 other people to speak during a public hearing tonight at City Hall. They support an ordinance put forth by City Council member Julie Polakovich-Carr that would call for the fostering of community trust in Rockville.
How can we blame illegal immigrants for attempting at a search for a new and better life?
We stand for all of our families. We stand for all of our children.
Polakovich-Carr's proposal would stop the city these police officers, in many cases, from asking people about their immigration status or detaining them based on certain immigration detainers and federal warrants. She told us the city does not currently do this, but is still a law she believes should be on the books.
This bill would basically put that current practice into law.
But not everyone's on board with the idea. Some are worried about crime.
How can you say that the community will feel safer only because illegal aliens feel safe to report to the police?
Rockville resident Ching Tu said he thinks the ordinance is divisive. He also believes, unlike the ordinance's supporters, that it could clash with federal law.
My argument is there's a process. If you don't like the law, change it at the federal level.
Either way, both sides are just thankful for the opportunity to speak out.
I have to do something.
I'm told if the council were to vote on this matter, it could take place in the next few weeks. From Rockville, John Henry, WUSA 9.
The Rockville City Police Chief did not attend tonight's meeting, and his department did not provide a statement, but a city spokesperson told us that whatever happens ultimately is in the hands of the city council.
Well, it would have been a 16-game winning streak for the Cavs, but it just wasn't to be. Breaking it all down for you in sports coming up next. Plus, a soccer tournament that's about more than just a score, how this championship is encouraging young women to achieve their dreams.
Now, WUSA 9 Game On Sports, brought to you by Xfinity.
Well, the Cavs put a 15-game home winning streak on the line tonight, only to lose against the Dallas Stars. Despite Nicholas Backstrom's 21st goal and TJ Oshie's 25th, they lost in regulation at home for the first time, get this, Topper, since December. Final score, 4-2. By this time tomorrow, we'll know the winners of the She Believes Cup. The women's soccer tournament wraps up here in D.C. tomorrow night at RFK Stadium. The tournament features 4 of the top 5 women's teams in all of the world. Team USA has a chance to win it all. We caught up with players at practice today. They support the Cup's message of encouraging young girls and women to accomplish their goals and dreams.
Bringing awareness to young women that may be having troubles in middle school and having them know the power of believing in oneself and also the power of having others believe in you. I think it's a great message that we're really proud to bring to the field.
We support what they want to do, and even if they're hesitant on going after something they really want, I think it's important to, be fearless.
Hear, hear. Team USA plays France tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And before the game, be sure to tune in to WUSA 9 as Diane Roberts tackles pay equity in women's soccer. Is there financial life for female soccer pros?
See what happens with that. You're going to take us out with a forecast?
When we come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we come back.
Sure, why?
The Hirshhorn Museum is trying to make it easier for you to visit its hit Infinity Mirrors exhibit. It's extending Wednesday hours this week, staying open until 8 p.m. There will also be more free walk-up time passes available every morning at 10 a.m. And to reduce the complaints of long wait times once you're inside the museum, the Hirshhorn is limiting the number of people who can visit each hour. Those free timed passes are required to get you in, but good luck getting a ticket. The latest batch were released this morning and snapped up in minutes. They make you think about how tough it is to get tickets to go to the new Museum of African American History and Culture.
Right.
Those are the hottest tickets in town.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to know somebody like Topper Shutt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm really tight with the arts here. Yeah. Here's the 7-day. All right. 65 tomorrow. Upper 60s on Wednesday, and that really Wednesday and Thursday are great. And then we go downhill. Showers on Friday, maybe snow over the weekend.
Was that an art fist?
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know what that was.
I thought about it after I said it. Let me look at my other friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's WUSA 9 News for tonight.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Colbert is next. We'll see you tomorrow.